Hello, I'm Sandy of Sandy Creek. It rained quite a bit last week here in South Carolina. In fact, we got about 6 inches of rain all week long, and so the river's not in great shape for fishing. So I thought it would take a few minutes a day to show you my kayak. Okay, here we go. This is my Pelican Motion 100 kayak, 9.5 feet long. It's very similar to several of the other kayaks that Pelican makes in this price range. It was a little less than $300 at our local Walmart. And I think the various kayaks have various names like Sentinel and Blitz, and they come with different equipment installed. This kayak was pretty basic, and let me show you the modifications I've made, and they're no different from a lot of the other videos you'll see of this Pelican kayak. So the first thing I did was add some dry storage. So I added an 8-inch hatch to the very front. It gives me dry storage, of course, but better than that, it gives me access to the hull. I think you can see there, that is my transducer for my Garmin Striker 4 fish finder. I made a dam, according to some other guys on YouTube, and when I get to the river, I remove my bottle. It's hard to do with one hand. Remove my bottle from a dry storage bag and put a little water from river water around the transducer. So far, it's worked very, very well, very beautifully. When I fish in very shallow water, I can tell that it's giving me pretty accurate readings from my paddle depth. Okay, so let's move on down. The next thing, it had the built-in footrest, which I thought were bulky, took up a lot of room needlessly. So I took those out and installed the Pelican adjustable footrest, which I like a whole lot better. The next thing I did was I installed 2 Yak Attack tracks, one on either side, and then I installed a Yak Attack rod holder, which works great. Very, very pleased with the adjustability of the Yak Attack rod holder. Okay, in the center, of course it came with this little cover for the some storage. It's not dry storage, but at least it's storage. And what I did was I mounted my Garmin Striker 100 to that center hole, that center circle. I was able, because I had put the access to the hull in the front, I was able to run the wiring through the hull. And you'll notice when I lift this up, you'll see that the wiring goes through the deck, well, not through the deck, but through the top of the storage compartment, through the deck, one wire to the battery, of course, and one wire to the transducer. Works beautifully. It was easy installation. Next, I added 2 handles. It comes with the built-in handles, which work okay for carrying the kayak if you're carrying it kind of on its side, carrying it for a distance. But if you're going to lift it up and put it on top of your car, which I do, then you needed a little better handle system. And so I installed 2 handles, which I bought locally at Walmart. The stadium seat was really the last modification I've made. The original Pelican seat was not very comfortable. In fact, after about an hour of fishing, you were ready to come home because your back started hurting, or at least my back started hurting. But this is a simple seat, and it was pretty easy to mount in this kayak. The first one I bought was an extra wide, and it was a little too wide for the kayak to fit comfortably. It really wanted to sit up too high, made the kayak a little more rocky, a little more tipsy than I wanted. So this stadium seat fits lower and is a little narrower and seems to work well. I was able to use the existing strap that came with the kayak, and this strap on the front right here just kind of holds the kayak from the seat from going too far forward. And my bungee cords, really one bungee cord attached to both sides, keeps the seat pulled towards the rear. Now it will lift up, which is no problem, but once you're sitting in the seat, it's solid as a rock. What I did on the bottom of the chair, or the seat, was I added a wooden beam, a little piece of wood, runs the entire width, and I added some padding on each end, and it rests right on the seat of the kayak, the floor of the kayak. I think you can see how that works. Very simple to do. And then I kind of taped it. I painted it black and kind of taped it to make it look a little better. Only the other modification I made is, this is the wire from the battery. It runs from the depth finder through the hull here and into my battery box. And the battery is a little small gel cell, 12 volt, 6 amp hour. And I fished for about 4 hours with it one day, and it had no problem powering that depth finder. In fact, it didn't take very much, just a few minutes to recharge it. So it didn't use much power at all. So this is my little crate, low profile, easy to get to from the back of the seat, and it just holds some of my fishing equipment. Right here, I keep modifying the bungees, the configuration, but I usually put my cooler and my life jacket when I'm wearing it, and when I'm not wearing it sometimes, will just sit on the back of the seat. And so that's it. I don't think there's anything else that I've done to it other than get it dirty a few times in the Little PD River. You can see it hasn't been cleaned since the last fishing trip, which was last week. But we've had lots of rain this past week. The river is not in good shape right now. It rose about a foot, and but it's going back down, so I'll be fishing again shortly. So there you go, the Pelican 100, a Motion 100, 9.5 foot kayak that I fished the Little PD River at what I call Sandy Creek.